your face in my sink. In my sink. You wash your face in my sink. In my sink, sink. You wash your face in my sink. In my sink, sink. You wash your face in my sink.
You want to be handy. Oh, sorry. Whew. Oh, want to be handy Andy here, and this is day 2 of the RV renovation, the Prowler. And I know this is really cheesy, but I was wearing a respirator because there's mold and dust and all kinds of things. When you're doing something like this, it's a good idea. So yeah, let's take another look around. Just a reminder of what we got on the outside, which is not a whole lot. And then on the inside. Now, as you can see, it's a bit of a mess, but a lot has changed since I started. Basically, what ended up happening is I got into the walls and found that there was a lot of mold and a lot of rotten wood. And so I ended up starting to pull out more of the wall, the paneling, the insulation, and just kept finding more and more stuff wrong. Found out that the fridge didn't work, so pulling that out was a big problem because it actually didn't fit out the door. So I had to dismantle it to an extent inside the RV before taking it out. Also pulled out the stove. Now the stove I think might still work, so I'm going to hang on to that, maybe just paint it up. But for now, we've just got these 3 gas lines coming up out of the floor, and those are propane for the furnace, for the fridge, and for the stove. Now there is also over here a water heater, and it's your typical trailer from the 70s water heater, but it looks like it's been bypassed. When I got all this stuff taken apart, there was just, you know, kind of an end of a hose sticking out of nowhere. And when I was looking at the intake and the outlet valves, they're coupled together. So my guess is that this water heater doesn't work, and whoever was still using this as a camper trailer decided to remove all that. You can see all the wiring here that comes from the fuse panel that's underneath the seat here. There's also the water tank for your holding water there. You got your breaker panel as well as a little fuse panel for all your DC stuff. It's for your lights and the fans and the different things that are going on. There's some switches, as well as a little cigarette lighter for charging things and maybe starting fires in your trailer. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the furnace. I'm tempted to pull it out and completely redo this area instead of maybe even just taking out the kitchen completely, bringing in just a little mini fridge that runs on AC that you can just use, you know, pack your stuff in a cooler and bring it along, because we found that the trailer fridges are actually really, really, really expensive. So, but anyway, this is the kind of stuff that I ended up finding that I've pulled apart. So it wasn't all destroyed like that, but just rotten wood that really, I mean, in places just flakes apart. You can see sections here that have just come out. Not sure still where the water's coming in. There's a good chance that part of it was coming in right here. You can see the light coming through. That's not a sealed seam. That's just aluminum siding tagged together. There's also some light up in through there. Not sure if that's capped or not. I can't remember. But either way, this is the general area that the water seems to have come in. But it seems to have come along through here and really just absorbed over here. This wood here looks new, but it does have wiring and stuff drilled through it, so I can't be totally sure if it's new or just old stuff. You can also see these beams are in serious need of replacement, rotted out completely, and are just waiting for a good shove, and they'll come right down. So I'm starting to replace the studs. That'll be kind of the next thing now that I've got the cabinets out of the way. You can see here the way that this is constructed. The roof trusses, I'm making up names for things as I go along, are actually tapered. They're a lot narrower over here than they are here, and I'm guessing that's just to keep the roof elevated in the middle so the water actually runs off. But for the most part, everything else seems to be dry. There is a little separation from the siding going on down in there, so I'm not sure. I haven't gotten into that yet. As well, I'm not sure if there's going to be anything here. This wood right here, I'm trying to see, I can't really remember. That wood right there is wet, but by the time it gets to here, it's actually dry. So I don't think there's any more stuff going on. This is a little bit dark, which is a little concerning, but that could just be old water damage as well. One of the things you may have seen when I'm kind of been going around here, maybe not, is little bits of tape on the wires. It's a really good practice to actually label all the wires that you've got, because they're going who knows where. Like this one. This one's called the not sure switch. It was wired to something in the ceiling, but these wires were capped, so they weren't going anywhere. This one I haven't labeled because this one was just the light fixture that was hanging underneath the cabinets that were kind of all up in this section. We've got our bath fan that's running through. That's also there in case I have to pull the wires out. I can remember what they are for when we have to route them back into the bathroom. Some more things. This was another set of wires that were just kind of dangling there. I'm guessing that's for a 12-volt light that maybe hangs down from the ceiling there. In the bathroom, we've got all this. I started cleaning this out a little bit. This is this is hilarious. I think this would only work for some of the smallest people in the world. This shower is so tiny. I can't get wide enough to show you what it would look like in there, but my head almost hits the ceiling just standing still in this place, and that's actually a step up. So I don't think we would ever use that. I'm semi-tempted to tear out this wall and maybe extend some of the kitchen type thing, or maybe even put in some bunk beds here for the kids, or just some more storage. The bathroom's a nice thing to have in the middle of the night. You know, we'd normally be camping at a campsite that has electrical and water and bathrooms not far from where you're staying. So during the day you can do that, but it's nice in the middle of the night to not have to get up and run outside. So it'd be cool if we could use that. Looking around in here, there is, this wood is, actually it's still pretty dry, but it's old. It's totally dry in there. Back up in here it's really wet, and that's just the other side. So I'm guessing, yeah, the leak has definitely been happening down that direction. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else to point out. Oh yeah, I did find, and I have to deal with this, that's all some kind of white mold. I'd like to think that maybe it was just a baby powder bottle that exploded under extreme pressure or something, but either way, that's disgusting. It's got to go. That little water container there does have some liquid in it. I have not yet opened it up to see what that is. Other than that, I think that's all there is to show you for now. Again, this is stuff that I think pretty much anybody can do. So if you're looking for something to do, get a free trailer on Craigslist and gut it. No, that was the last thing. Over here, no, this isn't the last thing. There is one more thing. Over here, I'm guessing this is a little bit soft because this is what used to prop up the, you know, there was a bed that would flip down. So this could give you a nice sized bunk bed area. But that flip down piece is missing. The hinge is still there, which is nice. But it would actually drop and hang on these ledges. This one's nice and solid. This one you can see has actually pulled away from the wall, so that's a little, well, that needs to be fixed. Also, the last thing that I will show you is back down here on the floor. This has all peeled up, and this is really wet under here. I don't know if you can see how wet it is. So I'm gonna have to peel this laminate up, or whatever it's called, this linoleum, and see how far the wetness goes and if there's actually rot going on with the wood below. It's hard to tell. This here is also, it's wet from all the water that has come down the wall, but it's solid. This is the wheel well here. So if you're watching this and have any thoughts and want to either come over and help me fix this up Or if you just got some ideas, I would be glad to hear it. So that's it for episode 2. Hopefully next time you'll see even some more progress.